Okay, so I want to show you how to create a notebook for students that you can just keep updating as you go. So in one of my other courses, I am already using it. So when I go to assignments, it's their daily opener, so their bell ringer, whatever you call it. It gets assigned every day in their lesson page. Like that's number one on the agenda. And the goal is to train them. That sounds like I'm training animals. I'm not. Um, but just so that they get in the routine of that should be the first thing that they do. As you see here, all the students have opened theirs. I can view their answers. I won't actually open them because I do ask kind of a personal question and I won't, you know, out any of their answers because I don't know right off what they say. But I'm going to show you, I did not connect it to one of my classes yet, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So I have a master that I have created, and I will share so that everybody has it if you're watching this video. However, if you wanted to make yours from scratch, all you would need to do is add enough Google Slides to last you a semester. So I added 44, but you could add 100 if you think that that's what you need for the whole semester. They can all be blank. So I know mine are not. I have a template that I'm using, but they can all just stay completely white and blank and use them when you're ready. Okay, so their notebook, they're going to be able to write their name there. That's why I left that blank. I have a useful items page, so sometimes when I ask them questions or they need a graph or they need to just copy and paste one of these symbols because they don't know the shortcut, I put it there. And what's great is I can keep adding things, so that's why there's all the white space, and they will just update it and be able to see it later. Okay, so here's one. This is like the very first one, so you would not, like I don't necessarily have something good for last week, last class, and last topic, but my idea is that the questions are constant spiraling review. I like to get to know you questions because they're fun to read and talk about, and I don't want to talk about math 24/7. All right, so let's get started. What do you need to do? You need a notebook. Okay. Once you need to label it the master copy. If you need to put it all in bold to remind yourself, go for it. You need to share it as a viewer for Fayette County Public Schools. And then you need a blank presentation. Now notice my slides are different sizes. That's because I chose to make my notebook sizes 4x3. And so I'll show you how I did that. It's real easy. File, page setup. I changed it to the standard instead of the widescreen, and I applied. So you do want it to be the same size just for formatting issues. I'm going to delete the slide that is there. Okay. We're going to go over here to the side, and I'm going to select all by hitting Control or Command A. All of them are highlighted. All my slides are highlighted. I'm going to hit Command C for copy. I'm going to come over here, make sure my mouse is in this area, and hit Control V. Depending how many slides you have, it may take a hot second to upload. This is the very important thing. Don't ignore this. You need to click link and keep original styles. So again, link and keep original styles. This is how the magic happens. Okay. So this one is called your student copy. That's important. This is the one you're going to be assigning in Canvas. So your students will get this in Canvas. Okay. If you've ever used Google LTI, then you know how to do this. You go to assignments. add assignment. You can put whatever you need to there for time's sake and keep on scrolling. Google is an external tool. So Google LTI assignment. Got to do all the linking here. And you will want to, I'm pretty sure this one's it, but since they all have the same name, I can do it this way just to make sure it is the right one. It may be smarter for you to put the word master and student as the first word so that it's easier to find. But again, you need the student copy, create. Obviously, set your points. Set your points. That part doesn't matter, whatever. Well, for me, it doesn't matter because I am not taking this as a grade. I make it go all the way through the semester. And I hit save. Done. Now, how does it work? What in the world am I doing to make this work? Okay. If you are a very simplistic person, you can add your text boxes on top of here, type right in it, so forth and so on. I personally do not like to do that because students erase and delete and who knows what they end up with. So as you can see, these words are not editable on this page. However, you can change what is called the master slide. So if you go to slide and go to edit theme, you can edit everything you want right here that you don't want a student to touch. Notice I made enough slides for every single one of them because I want the questions to change. If I just wanted the same single template every time and I changed my text over here on these, I wouldn't need this many slides. But since I'm changing it every day, I do need it. So here's where I'm going to edit the date so that they know that they're on the right date. I'm not going to trust them to type in the right date. Okay, if you don't want to use my topics, but you still want to give 4 things for them, or even 2 things, because these are actually just lines that if you just wanted it to look like a notebook, you can. I'm going to undo that because obviously I'm happy with those. And then add your text box where your question goes here. So notice it is now there. I'm clicking it. It will not pick up. It will not click. It will not drag. Okay, but you will notice the one page that I've finished, I do have boxes that they can click in to describe their favorite pizza. Okay, so you want to make sure that's correct. This one, I was wanting to kind of test their copy and paste skills. So they were supposed to do something like this where they copied and pasted and drag it right here just so that I could see as like a check, can they do that? Okay. So again, for this, I just added a text box. I didn't like that it was white. I also don't like this autofit, so do not autofit so that it will actually make a good size box. And then I fill it in with whatever color I want it to be. You can change fonts there. You can make them write in different things, whatever. Edit to your leisure. But here's what's nice. So notice on here, if you recall, it says question goes here. When your student opens your, this one that we assigned to them, and so they open it, they get exactly what you see right here. Okay. But notice I now have new buttons here. So anytime I make an edit to the master slide, I would then need to hit update for them to see it. So I have already taught my students. So let's go again back to that pre-calc class so you can actually see one of my lesson pages. starting next week. The first button here is their daily opener. I tell them what slide to go to, and I tell them to update link. Okay, the first couple I actually said click on the button that says update in the top right corner, but these kids got it pretty easily, so I think that they'll be successful with just the update reminder. But when they will also see that update button, hit update, and so they will see the new thing. Warning, I would warn them not to work ahead, because if you had a few here and you decided to change one, but they had already answered it and you made them hit update, it will delete everything they did and only show your updated version. So I always have them update first, and then they can write what they need to or delete what they need to. Otherwise, it is going to delete their work. Now, as far as Canvas goes, I did ask them not to turn it in. So do not hit submit. I had to explain to them that yes, I can see it. You'll notice here it says 2 returned. That's because 2 people did turn it in. And when they turn it in, it locks them from editing it. They can only view it when they turn it in. So I do not want it submitted, because then they can't write on it for the next day. I have to go in and return it to them so that they can. However, I can definitely open it, and I would open it by clicking on this, and it would take me directly to their pages so that I could see it. I don't plan on looking at these every single day, but I definitely plan to open them more often than I did whenever I did daily openers in a physical composition book. So I am excited about that part. The last thing that I was going to suggest is, how do you always get to that master? So this is something I use a lot. Obviously, I'm going to do it every day, every week, whatever. So I have myself it all started with the Bitmoji when I started making all my pretty banners and such on my home pages. All the pages that I knew I would need to go back to and edit at some point, I put here. In fact, some of these need to be updated because I don't use them anymore. Codes that I use, often I will put in here. If you don't use HTML codes, ignore that. But here was the important part. However many notebooks you make, so I have one for each subject I teach, I have linked the master and the student. So all you do is type the word master, hit Command K or Control K, depending if you're Mac or web user, and then just put your link in there. So copy and paste your link for the correct one. And that is something that is just always saved to my bookmark bar up here. So anytime I click this, it'll open it, and then I can click whatever I want. I also changed lots of colors and stuff, so I wanted the HTML codes there so I wouldn't forget them. But yeah, so that's actually a lot of tips thrown into one video, but hopefully you can find the master student copy very helpful.